हम लोग एक्चुअली हम यूथ हैं और हम विकसित भारत चाहते हैं, उसी के लिए हम प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं।
तो ये जो प्रदर्शन है किस मुद्दे पर है?
मुद्दा यही है कि जो हमारी सरकार थी पिछली, उन्होंने हमें क्या क्या हमें दिक्कतें हुई, कैसे उन्होंने हमें लूटा। तो हम हमारी यूथ की जिम्मेदारी है कि हम लोगों को जागरूक करें और दिखाएं कि कैसे हमारी मतलब विकास, भारत का विकास कैसे होगा।
मैनिफेस्टो में अभी प्रॉपर तो हमें जानकारी नहीं है, अभी साथ साथ में थोड़ा।
कहाँ से आए आप?
हम गलगोटिया यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रेटर
से सब पे लोगों पे कांग्रेस का लिखा हुआ है, उसको हम बिल्कुल डिनोट कर रहे हैं कि नहीं, बिल्कुल कुछ नहीं है।
आपको पता नहीं है क्यों आए हैं?
नहीं पता है, बिल्कुल पता है, बट एग्जैक्ट मोटो ऐसे तो बहुत सारे मोटो है, बट कांग्रेस के उस पे ही है हम।
किस पर प्रोटेस्ट किस लिए है?
सब बीजेपी को
हम सपोर्ट करना है
किसको?
बीजेपी को। बीजेपी का सीधा सीधा कहना है, वो आपको सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, आपको हर फैसिलिटी प्रोवाइड करेंगे, आपको हर एक चीज करेंगे, लेकिन आप कांग्रेस को वोट ना करें क्योंकि वो सिर्फ बहकावा दे रहे हैं।
नो प्लेस फॉर अर्बन मैक्सेल इन विकसित भारत।
क्या मतलब?
पता नहीं।
Whatever we saw in that video, it's not something to laugh over, to smile over. Whatever we saw shows us the future of India. I know it is scary, but that is the truth. That's the future of India. Whether you like it or not, those are students. One of them mentioned Kaliyug University, future of India, represents the brain of India. On 15th August 1947, we made a tryst with destiny, right? What happened to that tryst with destiny? 15th August 1947 was the day when we stepped out from the old to the new. It was said that 200 years of British rule, it suppressed the soul of India. It was on 15th August 1947 that suppressed soul of India found the voice. This is the voice. It was the day when India took the pledge of dedication to service of India and her people. Is this a service of India? Blindly following one rhetoric, one party, one leader. Is this a service to my republic? In the future of India, they have lost their consciousness, to quote Ambedkar ji. They cannot distinguish between what is right or what is wrong, what is moral, what is immoral. If anyone is looking to take a long-term bet on this republic, you do not have to do much. Just analyze the state of India's education system, the state of India's teachers. Just analyze the state of India's demography. Tomorrow, if you were to buy a luxurious villa in the heart of South Delhi, what if that villa falls in a society that is occupied by rapists, murderers, occupied by people who have lost their consciousness to distinguish between what is right or what is wrong? What will you do of that villa? Will that be a good investment? What will you do of that villa when people around that villa are pissing in the open, littering all across, throwing garbage wherever they could? What will you do of that luxurious villa, aka economic development? A house is nothing without its people. We know this. You can buy a palace, it's nothing without the people. A society is nothing without its people. Communities are nothing without the people. Country is nothing without the people. A few days ago, in Jharkhand, Spanish woman was mercilessly gang raped. She had traveled across the world, but it was in Jharkhand she experienced the lowest of humanity. The lowest of humanity did not just end there. The deputy commissioner of that district did a photo op of handing over 10 lakh rupees as compensation for rape. They published the photo of that ceremony in the social media. At the very least, the police department could have stayed silent, could have silently given the money, but yes, how can we miss the photo op? I know some of us in this unconscious society will blame the victim. Why? Because we are expert at whataboutery. The moment I say something on the rapist in parliament, with Pajwal Revanna, my comment section was flooded with ridiculous comments. What proof do you have? What about Sandesh Kali? Why don't you talk about Nehruji? He used to smoke cigarettes. I'm not kidding, these are real comments. The funny part is that to all those commentators could have watched my more videos, you would have realized I would have spoken of Sandesh Kali also. The moment I say anything about Rahul Gandhi ji, an army of unconscious beings will come and ask me, what about Modi ji? The moment I talk about Modi ji, unconscious army will come and ask me about Nehru ji. What about Ibrahim Lodi? What about Megisthenes? The list is endless. And that is why it's not a surprise that we are not treated with respect anywhere in the world. That's the fact. People who have just stayed at their homes, have never worked across the world, they will gloat over this feeling that India is superpower. Indians are treated with utmost respect anywhere, everywhere they go. That's not the case. I've been to more than 50 countries. That's not the case. Forget about respect. Rest of the world, they do not even want us as tourists in their own countries. Just apply for Schengen visa, you will get your answer. Apply for US visa, you will get your answer. Even if you get the visa, see how you will be treated at immigration versus someone who is from European country or Latin America. Ukraine today has a much stronger passport than my Republic of India. Again, fact. They don't have to apply for visas. for many countries. The rape in Jharkhand was atrocious. It was the headline in Brazil, front page headline in Argentina, front page headline in Spain. People in Spain, Argentina, Brazil, Portugal, they're dead scared of visiting India. But our Godi media is busy celebrating how we are on the verge of becoming Vishwaguru, Atiti Devo Bhava. Become a human first. As I speak today, a 13 years old girl in my home state, Madhya Pradesh, was gang raped, thrown into a river by 3 men. Their title in the newspaper read, 13-year-old girl was gang raped by 3 youth. Future of India. Youth. So savagely that 13-year-old girl, she lost consciousness due to severe bleeding. After which these 3 youngsters, possibly the first-time voters, let me name them because police has done the same. Deepak Patel, Akshay Sen, Sham Patai, they gang raped her and threw her in the river. It's a fact. And you know what's more funny? People will tell me that it's my fault because I'm naming them. They will say that they are Hindus. Naman does not talk about Muslims or Christians because he's from CIA. This is the level of brainwashing that has happened in India, that we have lost any aspect of humanity. What happens is when we live a regular life, we forget about what's happening at a grander scale in India. But this is slowly and steadily happening. You're always worrying about Kaliyug. What will happen? Kalyug. The stroke of the midnight hour when the world slept. India was supposed to wake up to life and freedom. What has happened to that India? Do you all feel that freedom to travel at night, evening? On the eve of India's independence, what was said? Service of India means service of the millions who suffer. It means ending of poverty. It means ending of ignorance. That was the term used. 15th August 1947. Ignorance. Galgotia University charges around 6 lakh for their BTech program. Their students can't read in Hindi, but they will be the first ones to protest that Hindi should be made our national language. That's the state of education in India that we saw in front of our own eyes. Galgotia is just one example. There are so many such universities. For Sundar Pichai to become Sundar Pichai, he had to leave India first. He had to study at Stanford. He had to study at Wharton. Then he had to work in a culture where his intellect was valued. Why didn't he come back? Was he anti-national? Satya Nadella had to leave India to become whatever he is today. Went to Wharton. Ajay Banga, even he studied in St. Stephen's, had to leave India. And there are so many. Vinod Khosla, Indira Nooyi, the list is endless. All their kids had the option to become Indian citizens, basis the second schedule of India's constitution. No one chose to become India's citizen. Why? Our foreign minister, who is writing a lot of articles in newspapers these days, and why is it India's century? Even his son, Dhruv Jaishankar, decided to become an American citizen. I'm just stating facts. Facts will remain facts. No matter how much you hate these facts, they will remain facts. Dhruv Jaishankar did his undergrad from US, did his master's from US, and here his father is talking about glory of India. India's ambassador to Cambodia, Devyani Khobragade, her daughters decided to become American citizens. Nothing wrong with that. Any sane person who loves his or her life perhaps would do the same. Why would you want to live in a society where your daughters are not safe? The scary situation is, look at the quality of people who are now leaving India. These are the people who, by their actions, showcase that they do not have trust in the society. Ambani's grandson acquiring US citizenship is scary. He is one person who knows the business landscape of India. No one knows it better than Ambaniji. He knows the ground realities. Foreign minister's son or Indian ambassador's daughter leaving India's citizenship shows how much trust they have on the future of India. All these people will come. They will talk highly about India, the glory of India. They will quote JP Morgan CEO, Jamie Dimon. They will talk about Warren Buffett, whosoever. But their deeds, their action will show no confidence in India. They will just be the talk shop. And these Indians from Galgotia University, they will gleam with glory. See, this is what he said about my beloved country. But in reality, that's brainwashing. Our society has been brainwashed to such an extent that we have lost our ability to distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. And that is very scary. What happened in Sandesh Khali was devastating. Each called Shah Jahan, who called himself Sheikh, sexually abused innumerable women. Police did nothing. The Trinamool Congress leaders had the galls to say that all of this is happening because of upcoming elections. Then what happened in Hassan? Again, very shameful. Still, people are defending it. Why? Because elections are happening, always happen in India. This country is in perpetual state of elections. Today, we may blame politicians for our mess, but that is wrong. We have to blame ourselves for this mess. The only solution left for us is to rise up to the occasion. And it is very much possible. Today, YouTube, Instagram vloggers are becoming our heroes. We've casually replaced Savitribai Phule, Sarojini Naidu, Dr. Kalam, with whom? New age fashion influencers on Instagram. That's how we start our mornings. When I was in school, I wanted to join the army. My friends wanted to become astronauts. Many of my friends wanted to become scientists. But today, almost entire India wants to become an influencer. The entire India is dancing on the algorithms of envy, lust, gluttony, wrath. In Hindu scriptures, there is a concept of Kalyug. What is Kalyug? Characterized by what? Decline in virtue, emergences of vice like envy, lust, gluttony, Kalyug is characterized by decay. It is an age when human values are degraded, truth diminishes, morality is at its lowest. Everyone around you will be envious of you in Kalyug. Everyone around you would be angry. Everyone around you will be full of lust. That is Kalyug. Today, who knows, we are living in Kalyug. Puppets dancing on the algorithms, not even realizing, failing to distinguish what is right, what is wrong, what is moral, what is immoral. It is only in Kalyug a rape would be justified basis political ideologies. Only in Kalyug you will pay tax on breathing. When you buy air purifiers, you are indirectly paying tax. Air purifiers have become $1 billion industry in India. Investors are looking to invest. Modi ji was in Goa for a few hours. In preparation for his visit, do you know what happened? 380-year-old trees were chopped off in just 6 hours. The reason was a security threat. Such large, magnanimous trees, rickshawalas to shopkeepers, they used to stand there, sit there, chopped off in 6 hours. It is only in Kalyug there will be violence, intolerance, societal division spaces, whatever meaning you could think of. Northeasterners would be called a different term. People from South will be given a new term. People will distinguish, make fun basis your color, language, the way you speak, religion, region, caste, on and on. Happening, right? It isn't only in Kalyug, there will be no sense of privacy. It's only in Kalyug, people will have no shame in exploiting their minor children or YouTube, Instagram videos. Can you imagine that happening anywhere else? Millions of people will watch random private life videos of bunch of strangers. And what's saddening is they will discuss it. Only in Kalyug, leeches will sit shamelessly in temple of democracy. And people around will not even question that. They would rather justify those acts. And how do they do it? There's a thing called whataboutism. What is that? Whataboutism. Started with the Soviet propaganda during the Cold War. Whataboutism. I agree, no country is perfect. India is imperfect. And of course, it goes without saying that India has remarkable potential. Look at the geography that we are bestowed with, the culture, the civilization. It is our duty to work with our heart out in ensuring that India reaches wherever it deserves to be, both in letter and spirit, not just in feelings. Our service to India begins by educating ourselves about India. It is via understanding and realizing that there is a difference between Rajdroh and Deshdroh. There is a difference. The moment you say anything against a ruling government, how can you be Deshdrohi? Anywhere else in a sane democracy, only when you question the government, they will become accountable to you. And government should be accountable to you. No taxation without representation. But if you can't even ask questions from the government with the fear that you may be called Pakistani, what is this? The moment I ask, why is my tax money going to pay salaries for Sunny Deolji, who never visits the parliament, who never visits the constituency? People of India will respond, but what about Mamata Banerjee? The minute I ask why Ambani ji is using Indian Air Force, and they will be, what about Ri? What about Nehru ji smoking cigarettes? That's how you distract the agenda. There was an actual comment on my YouTube video that stated that Shah Jahan can rape, why can't Prajwal do the same? That's the level of polarization in India. India is our country, India is my country. And no matter where we go, India will always reside in our hearts. There is no country like your own country. And no matter where you live, you cannot let India go out of your mind or brain or heart. You will be an Indian. Thankfully, today at least some misfitters are rising to the occasion, talking sense. I've said this in the past and I will say this again. Leader on top is nothing but manifestation of who that leader represents. That leader on top will do everything what his citizens demand. If citizens demand riots on daily basis, leader on top will deliver best quality 5-star riots that India has ever seen. Why? Because that's how he will keep the power. But the day people of India start demanding jobs, good quality air, social harmony, freedom to travel to public place in public buses, good environment, education for children, leader on top has to deliver all that. They will do that because that's how they will keep the power. I have worked with innumerable politicians in my life, not just in India but across the world. The only thing that they crave for is desire to stay in power. And that desire to stay in power is linked with what people want. So your service to India begins with you. Choose your role models wisely. Have the spine to take unpopular decisions. Have the courage to say what is right, what is wrong. Why bring in Hindu, Muslim, Japanese, Ibrahim Lodi, Megasthenes? What is the opposite of Kalyug? The Kalyug should transition to Satyug. And it will happen as long as we have the courage, the brain cells, to distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. Please do not become spokesperson for Rahul Gandhi ji, Modi ji, Ambani ji, Adani ji. All of that is nonsense, brainwashing. Become spokesperson for your country, for your value system, for your morals. If you can convince 10 people around you to vote for candidates, not political parties, you will see it yourself. In 10 years, parties will start fielding good candidates because they want to win elections. Give them the incentive. to field good candidates. Do you all know Brij Bhushan? Folks in South may not know him. Brij Bhushan. Many Indian athletes who had represented India in various games, in Olympics, Commonwealth Games, they've accused Brij Bhushan of sexual harassment. He was the president of Wrestling Federation of India. For 10 years, he engaged in inappropriate touching of these athletes, made several sexual advances. Basis the official complaints, the harassment occurred at various locations, in international competitions, during wrestling events, so on and so forth. Judiciary had to intervene. It was a judicial intervention that led Delhi police to register 2 FIRs against him. One of the FIR was under the POSCO because he harassed a minor also. Should he be a member of parliament? But will he be? BJP cannot allow that. BJP gave a ticket to his son to contest the Lok Sabha elections. Why? Sad part is people will go and vote for this guy, his son. And we all know who will then rule over that region. Karan Bhushan Singh, Brij Bhushan's son. He is now the candidate from a seat in UP, replacing his father, who is accused of sexually harassing several women wrestlers. What's the message are you conveying? The message is simple. We care only about winning elections. That is it. For us, nothing else matters. The message is simple. We have no morals. We have no morality. People of India will vote for us. They may go to Galgotia University. They can go to any university, but reality is their education will happen via WhatsApp University. Today it is BJP, tomorrow it will be Congress. We'll keep on shifting the blame. That will continue to happen. Today half the BJP is anyway Congress. Tomorrow it could be reverse. And I'm still astounded people are fighting over parties. They can't get the simple logic, vote for candidates, ask for good candidates. In the beginning you will not have good candidates, but have this system where you're incentivizing parties to field in good candidates.